Good morning, folks. You know who it is, man. It's your boy Tay Wiz reporting live from the man cave as usual. Um, we got like, two games that was on last night. Before we get into things, do have a game that come on tonight at 8:30. The Utah Jazz and the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are traveling to the Utah for this game three. I'm looking for the Golden State Warriors to pull away with this victory, to at least win by 15 points and take a commanding 3-0 lead. Um, the first game that came on last night, we'll get straight to it. The Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors, this is a must-win game for them. Kyle Lowry was a game-time decision. They had him out there earlier in the day in shooting around, trying to put pressure on it. He said he couldn't give it a go. He just told people, just imagine trying to run around with Kyrie Irving and trying to keep up with him, and your ankle is sprained. So he set off for the whole game. And the one thing the Cavaliers did do pretty well is let DeMar DeRozan get off and let everybody else trying to find their shots. So DeMar DeRozan did have 37 points and he couldn't miss. You know he's gonna have one of them games he's gonna wake up, like they did last year in their game three, that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan woke up at the same time. But if but in the first two games, DeMar DeRozan he was nowhere to be found. He was 12 of 23 from the field last night, but he was also 13 for 13 for the free throw line, but it still wasn't enough to get their team a win. Norman Powell had 13 points. He scored 8 of his points in the first quarter, so you already know he didn't show up in the second half. Serge Ibaka, Serge Ibaka. One thing I'm gonna say about Serge Ibaka, he had 12 points, 2 rebounds. But man, please get off the 3-point line. You don't need to be shooting threes at all. Um, I know that's how your coach drew things up, but y'all are losing on the rebound battles because your big man is shooting threes. So when your big man is shooting threes, there's nobody down low to grab a rebound or to sacrifice to get a rebound. So you get nothing but blue jerseys grabbing rebounds. Valanciunas, he started 19 points, 8 rebounds. He had a first quarter fast start, and like I said, a lot of these guys went absent in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. Corey Joseph, I mean, even though he is Kyle Lowry's backup, and this is why he's a backup. He had 4 points, 6 assists, 0 for 4 from three, and he was 2 for 12 from the field. So you're not getting nothing from him, and the bench didn't do anything as well either. So you're not going to win games like that when you got certain players trying to fill shoes of a role of a starter. So we already know how that game is going to go into. Um, like the Cavaliers been scored 30 points, but the main key person that was huge off the bench was Kyle Korver with 14 points, 4 from 6 from the 3-pointer, because he hit like three in a row in the fourth quarter. Man, it was just crazy how he only need about that much space and he's letting them go. Kyrie Irving, he didn't have a good game, but it was an okay game. He had his 16 points, 5 rebounds to go along with 4 helpers. Those are assists, if you know what I mean, for basketball talk. Tristan Thompson, 9 points, but he did have 12 rebounds. And the one thing I'm keep telling everybody, he keep out rebounding those two players, Serge Ibaka and Jonas Valanciunas. He's relentless on the glass, so nobody's not gonna touch him. Kevin Love, which I thought played a great game, 16 points, 13 rebounds, huge. I take them rebounds a lot. So we're gonna figure out what the Cavs are made of Sunday night when they play in the closeout game. Do they have enough willpower to close these guys out on Sunday, or they could just go through the flow and just say, you know what, let's let them win the game here and let's go home and close it out. But the way LeBron James is thinking, it's going to be a closeout. Um, 35 points for LeBron James, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Man, we just need to sit back and just take this all in. I know some people don't like LeBron James. I mean, that's your opinion. Um, my and man, it's just greatness, man. You gotta sit back and just witness greatness. Um, if he get this ring this year, which I hope he do, you can't say he's not a goat. He's gonna be one of the greatest of all time, if not probably the greatest of all time. That's just my opinion. The Cavs won 115-94, a shellacking, and and the Cavs started off in the fourth quarter on a 20-3 run. The Raptors couldn't score. You had DeMarre Carroll and PJ Tucker, and them guys didn't have done nothing this whole series. Um, if or when the Raptors do lose, they had to make some changes on the floor and to their coaching personnel. Not saying somebody might get fired from the coaching staff, but if you get swept, you may get fired. So Dwayne Casey, you got to win Game 4 because my personal opinion, I think his job is on the line. Um, like I said, the Cavaliers on a 20-3 run in the fourth quarter. The Raptors couldn't score. The Cavaliers out rebounded the Raptors 49-25. You're not getting no rebounds because you're a big man that want to shoot threes. Go down low and get dirty. And this is the main reason why the Cavaliers won. The Cavaliers shot 57% from the 3-point line. Hot. The Toronto Raptors shot a terrible, awful, ugly 11% from the 3-point line. They don't really have a 3-point threat shooter. They really don't. And they still consist on shooting threes, and their game is more of an inside game, right? Right, trying to take game outside. When you pound a team, their team is pretty long how to get to the free throw line. You got Serge Ibaka, he's not in the paint. Valanciunas, he's in the paint. Norman Powell don't want to go in the paint, especially PJ Tucker or DeMar Carroll. Those guys don't go in the paint. Or Patrick Patterson's another one. I ain't never seen a guy his size that played the power forward spot and live on the 3-point line. He is stretched big. I know KG probably, what I seen as growing up, probably one of the first stretched bigs, but KG never shot that many threes in the game. KG may take 2 or 3, or if that. But these new guys is taking so many, they hurting their teams. This is why they down 3-0. I'm got the Cavaliers closing these guys out on Sunday. So like I said, tune in on that game. That game coming on at 3:30 Sunday. Second game was a must-win game for either team, but more for the San Antonio Spurs. Could go down to Houston and go down 2-1. Their bench scored 26 points for the Spurs. You got help from these type of people, but the main key factor I was focusing on was Patty Mills. How would Patty Mills fill that void of Tony Parker not being in the game or out for the rest of the season? Which I thought Patty Mills played a superb game. 15 points to back up Tony Parker. So Paul Gasol had a huge night with his 12 points, 9 rebounds. But I do want to say LaMarcus Aldridge, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks. If LaMarcus play like that every night, Houston, you guys have a problem. Because now he getting his confidence back. You know Kawhi Skinner Leonard going to do his thing, as y'all call him, the Claw. He had 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those two players combined had 52 points, LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard. You see what I'm saying, people? I was saying, if you can get LaMarcus Aldridge going in the right direction and keep up with Kawhi Leonard, they can win a game easily. And that's what they did. They came out with a chip on their shoulder. They had to, especially on the defensive end, they had James Harden in foul trouble early in the first quarter. He picked up 3 fouls quick in the first quarter. And Mike D'Antoni didn't take him out because if he knew he took James Harden out, the complex of the game would have changed so fast, it'd have been crazy. It probably would have blew them out, probably by easily 30. That's my opinion. I'm just sticking to it. This is what I'm seeing when watching the game, how they didn't take him out and make that move. Just imagine they would have took him out. The game would have been ugly. Trevor Ariza had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, which I thought he played another great game. I didn't think Houston was just relying on too many threes last night. They was 12 for 39, 30%. They were just relying on too many threes. Person that did disappear last night, Ryan Anderson. He had 2 points. He nothing from the field because those came from the free throw line. So he couldn't find his shot. And he also played 29 brutal minutes. And I mean brutal because he couldn't score. They was on him. They had a game plan. Clint Capella also played a good game. 12 points, 16 rebounds. Nothing you can say about that. The young guy is bringing it every night, man. But Ryan Anderson, and that's why you need to step it up. Patrick Beverly, the game was suspect. 8 points, 7 rebounds, kind of technical foul. He's one of the guys, if his team is down, he can't get it going, he can do something crazy. So to get his team back up in good spirits on the floor, and that didn't work. James Harden had 37 points. As a James Harden type game, but where they lost at, their bench only had 10 points. Lou Williams was held scoreless. We always play about 17 minutes. He was held scoreless. So another reason, another key factor of the Spurs winning, they out rebounded the Spurs by 10, 49-39. I thought what Pop did by putting Deontay Murray in the game to switch it up to go a little bit taller and make the Houston Rockets players feel uncomfortable at times when they're on the floor, which I thought that was a key move to make things happen. Like I said, when your team is down or the series tied, you have to shape up your lineup and make something happen. A lot of teams don't do that. That's why a lot of teams that make it past the first round, such as the Indiana Pacers or the Clippers. These teams that make no changes to when they backs was against the wall, and this was either they was down 3 games to 2 or the series is tied. And first and foremost, you can't win games like that. The Spurs, they gonna find a way to win. And one thing I know, when they keep showing Tim Duncan working on Marcus Aldridge, I knew he was coming. So don't be surprised in the next game if LaMarcus go off for 35 points and Kawhi Leonard go for 30. And if they do, they're gonna win huge. They probably gonna win by 21 the next time they play. So you know who I am. I'm Tay Wiggs, reporting live from the Man Cave. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel or my Twitter handle, both of them is the same. You can follow those pages at TAE_WIGGS. I keep you up on the latest scores and stats and injuries around these 2017 playoffs. Now let's get it. It's a race to the rings, baby. Y'all take care. One.